Have you ever heard a story so strange, so unsettling, that it sticks with you long after you've heard it? A story that blurs the line between reality and the supernatural? Well, today, we're diving into one of Japan's most famous and chilling legends. The story of Okiku, the living doll. This isn't just a ghost story told around a campfire. This is a tale with physical evidence, scientific analysis, and countless eyewitness accounts that have baffled people for over a century. So grab a seat, maybe turn on an extra light, because we're about to journey to the Manenji Temple in Hokkaido, Japan, home of a doll that is said to possess the spirit of a little girl. Our story begins back in 1918. A 17-year-old boy named Eikichi Suzuki was visiting Sapporo for a marine exhibition. While there, he spotted a beautiful doll in a shop window. It was a traditional Japanese okappa doll, with a porcelain white face, dressed in a vibrant kimono, and sporting a classic short, bobbed haircut that came just to its shoulders. He knew instantly it was the perfect gift for his beloved 2-year-old sister, Okiku. As he had hoped, little Okiku fell in love with her new companion. She named the doll after herself, Okiku, and they were inseparable. She took the doll everywhere, talked to it, slept with it every single night. For a year, they were the best of friends, but then tragedy struck. The following year, in 1919, a severe flu epidemic swept through Japan, and tragically, little Okiku fell ill and passed away. The family was devastated. In their grief, they decided to place her beloved doll on the family altar to honor her memory and pray for her spirit. And this is where things start to get strange. The family began to notice something impossible, something that defied all logic. The doll's hair, which was originally a neat short bob, had started to grow. At first, it was subtle, just a little longer than they remembered. But over time, it continued to grow, inch by inch. The neat bob grew past the doll's shoulders, down its back, and eventually all the way down to its knees. The family was convinced that the restless spirit of their daughter had somehow inhabited the doll. They believed that the growing hair was a sign that Okiku was still with them. For years, they cared for the doll, watching as its hair continued its unnatural growth. Imagine the mix of comfort and unease they must have felt. On one hand, a tangible connection to their lost child. On the other, a constant, eerie reminder that the laws of nature were being broken right there in their home. They lived with this supernatural phenomenon until 1938. By then, the family had to move from their town. They knew they couldn't simply take the doll with them, nor could they discard it. It was more than just a doll. It was a part of their family, a vessel for their daughter's spirit. So they entrusted it to the care of the monks at the Manenji Temple in the town of Iwamizawa, Hokkaido. They explained the incredible story to the head priest, sharing everything they had witnessed over the years. The priests, understanding the family's deep belief and the strange circumstances, agreed to take the doll into their care. They placed the Okiku doll in a simple wooden box on display in the temple. And just as the family had claimed, the monks soon became witnesses to the same impossible event. The doll's hair continued to grow. This brings us to our first key point, the biological mystery of the hair itself. The doll, as we know, originally had a cropped shoulder-length hairstyle. But now it resides in its case at the temple with hair that reaches its knees. The monks at Manenji Temple have had to trim the doll's hair periodically. According to the temple's legend, a monk once had a dream of Okiku, the little girl, who came to him and asked him to please trim her hair. Taking it as a sign, the monks began to trim it. And each time they do, they say it grows back, slowly but surely, always returning to a long, flowing length. It's a haircut that never ends. This isn't a story from 100 years ago that has simply been passed down. This is an ongoing event. Visitors to the temple today can see the doll and its long hair for themselves. The fact that the monks have to periodically cut the hair of an inanimate object is the central pillar of this entire mystery. What could possibly explain it? This leads us to our second, and perhaps most compelling, point: the lab results. As the story of the Okiku doll spread, it attracted not just curious tourists, but also researchers and scientists who wanted to get to the bottom of the phenomenon. They were skeptical, of course. Was it a trick? A misunderstanding? An elaborate hoax? To find out, a sample of the doll's hair was taken for scientific analysis. The researchers wanted to confirm what the hair was actually made of. Was it some kind of synthetic fiber that reacted to humidity, creating the illusion of growth? Was it animal hair? The results that came back were stunning and only deepened the mystery. The laboratory analysis allegedly concluded that the hair was not synthetic. It wasn't horsehair or any other animal fiber commonly used in doll making from that era. The tests reportedly confirmed that the hair was, in fact, human hair, but it gets even more specific. The analysis determined that it was the hair of a young child. Think about that for a moment. A doll constructed from traditional materials like wood, resin, and porcelain has been growing what scientists have identified as the hair of a human child. This finding is at the heart of the enigma. How is this possible? The doll itself isn't a biological entity. It has no follicles, no cells, no biological mechanism for hair growth. Yet for decades, it has been sprouting human hair. This scientific finding lends a tremendous amount of credibility to the family's original belief that the spirit of their daughter had become one with the doll. It elevates the story from a simple folk tale to a documented scientific anomaly. But the strange phenomena don't stop with the hair. This brings us to our third key point: the ghostly link. The hair is the most famous aspect of the Okiku doll legend, but it's not the only unsettling detail reported by those who have seen it up close. Many visitors to the Menenji temple, including the priests who care for the doll, have reported another chilling observation. They claim that if you look closely, very closely at the doll's mouth, you can sometimes see it part ever so slightly. And inside that slightly open mouth, some people swear they can see something even more impossible than the growing hair. They report seeing what look like tiny emerging teeth, similar to those of a teething toddler. This detail is absolutely terrifying. The idea of tiny human-like teeth growing inside the mouth of a porcelain doll adds a whole new layer of biological horror to the story. While the hair growth is a slow, almost passive phenomenon, the idea of teeth actively growing feels much more visceral and alive. It reinforces the idea that this isn't just an object with a strange property. It's an object that is seemingly undergoing a biological process associated with a living, growing child. Is it a trick of the light? The power of suggestion in a place that's already steeped in legend? Or is it another piece of physical evidence that the spirit of little Okiku is not just present, but is continuing to develop and grow within her cherished plaything? These reports, combined with the growing hair, paint a picture of a doll that is not just haunted, but is eerily, impossibly alive. Today, the Okiku doll remains at the Menenji temple, where it is a source of fascination, faith, and fear for people from all over the world. It's no longer on public display for everyone to see, as the temple has restricted viewing to protect the doll and preserve the sanctity of the site. However, the story endures, stronger than ever, fueled by the accounts of those who have seen it and the baffling evidence that seems to support the impossible. So, what are we to make of this? Is it a miracle? A hoax that has been maintained for over a century? Or is it genuine proof of the supernatural, a tangible link between our world and the next? Perhaps it's a powerful testament to the love a family had for their child, a love so strong it transcended death itself. Whatever you choose to believe, the story of Okiku serves as a powerful reminder that there are things in this world that science and logic cannot yet explain. It challenges our understanding of life, death, and what might lie beyond. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive into one of Japan's most enduring mysteries. What do you think is the real story behind the Okiku doll? Let me know your theories down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this journey into the unexplained, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content just like this. We'll see you in the next one. Stay curious.